everyone, this is Jenny's Fashion Channel. Thanks to all my amazing fans and subscribers. Those channel is all about leveling up on your fashion designing skill. And today, I'm going to teach you how to cut 6 pieces skirts. So if it is what we are all about, you are definitely at the right place. If you haven't subscribed to those channel, now will be a very good time for you to smash on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? We call it 6 pieces dress because the dress has 6 pieces. The front part has 3 pieces. That's the center part and the 2 side parts for the front panel. And the back part has 3 pieces. The center part and the 2 side parts. Then because of the zipper, the center part of the back panel will be divided into 2 in order to insert our zipper. Are we clear? So I will first work on the center part of the front panel. So the first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I'm going to draw a vertical line here because the edge of my paper is not straight and my paper is not unfold. Though we assume that it is unfold because we'll be working with it as if it is unfold. Are we clear? Then I'm going to take my vertical measurement. I will come down by 9 inches for my hip line. And for the knee line, my knee line is on 21 inches, okay? But I'm going to go up by 3 inches. That is where the flare will start, okay? To avoid movement constraint and for it to flow well. So I'm going to step up by 3 inches, okay? From that 21 inches, I'll have 18 inches. I will mark it. Then for the full skirt length, okay, I'm using 40 inches. But I'm going to add extra 2 inches because I want it to sweep a bit, okay? So that by the time I put on high heel, I will still get that flow that I want, okay? So I'm going to mark it and I'm going to draw the lines. Then I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. And my nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches. If it is being divided by 2, it will give me 3.5 inches. I'm going to mark that 3.5 inches on my waistline, which is the baseline. I'll mark the same 3.5 inches on the hip line. Then on the knee line, I'm going to remove half an inch from that 3.5 inches, okay? So I'm going to mark 3 inches on the knee line. Then for the full skirt length, I want a full 6 pieces skirt, okay? I'm going to mark 14 inches, okay? Then I'm going to connect the waistline straight down to the hip line. Then from the knee line, I'm going to go up by half an inch and go down by half an inch. This is to eliminate that sharpness on that knee area by the time I will connect it to the hip line, okay? Then I'm going to mark the same 3 inches I marked on the knee line on both lines, okay? Then I'm going to connect my hip line to the first half an inch I went up with from the knee line and connect the second half an inch from the knee line to my full skirt length, okay? Then I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect the half an inch up to the half an inch down. So guys, this is it for the center part of the front panel. I'll now go ahead and cut. So guys, this is it. You are going to add half an inch joining allowance to the side, okay? Because you are going to join this to the side part of the front panel, okay? Then for the 2 sides of the front panel, okay, you are not going to cut it on fold. I'm going to place my front part, okay, the center part of the front panel, okay, on top of it, okay? Then I'm going to trace out this curve because I'm going to join the side part to the center part. So I want the 2 sides to be of the same curve, okay? So I'm going to trace out the curve like so. And I'm going to use my marker to outline it so it can be visible. And I'm going to trace the waistline, the hip line, the knee line, and the full skirt line using the center part, okay? And I will draw the lines. Then from the hip line, I'm going to go up by 1 inch and go down by 1 inch. This is to get that perfect curve for the hip, okay? Then from the knee line, I'm going to go up by 1/2 inch and go down by 1/2 inch. This is to eliminate any sharpness, okay, on the knee area and to give it a perfect curve. Then for the waist measurement we are working with is 32 inches. So if we divide it by 2, it will give us 16 inches, okay? That's 16 for the front part and 16 for the back part. But remember that the center part, we have taken 7 inches already. That's nipple to nipple measurement, okay? We have taken 7 inches. So we are going to minus that 7 inches from that 16 inches, okay? It will give us 9 inches. And remember that this side part is going to be 2 for the right side and for the left side. So we are going to divide that 9 inches by 2. It will give us 4.5 inches. I will mark it. Then on the hip line, the hip measurement we are working with is 40 inches, okay? So if I divide it by 2, it will give me 20 inches. That's 20 for the front part and 20 for the back part. But I'm not going to apportion it that way because of birth, okay? So I'm going to remove 1 inch from that front panel hip line and I'm going to allocate it to the back part, okay? So what I have to work with for the front part is 20 minus 1. It will give me 9 inches, okay? Then remember that we have taken 7 inches for the center part. So we are going to remove that 7 inches from 19 inches. It will give us 12 inches. So I'm going to divide that 12 by 2. It will give me 6. That's 6 inches for the right side part and 6 inches for the left side part, okay? So I'm going to mark it and mark the same thing on that 1 inch I went up with from the hip line and that 1 inch I went down with from the hip line. Then I'm going to connect the waistline to the first 1 inch I went up with from the hip line. Then on the knee line, I'm going to minus 1.5 inches from the hip measurement, okay? That's the hip measurement we got there is 6 inches. So I'm going to minus 1.5 inches, okay? It will give me 4.5 inches. I will mark it on the knee line and mark the same thing on the 2 1/2 inch lines. Then I'm going to connect the second 1 inch from the hip line to the first 1/2 inch from the knee line. Then I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect the first 1 inch to the second 1 inch to get a perfect curve. Then on the full skirt length, I'm going to mark 28 inches, okay? This is how full I want it, okay? The center part is 14 inches and the paper is unfold. So by the time I open it up, I will still get 28 inches, okay? Then I will mark it and I'm going to connect it to the second 1/2 inch from the knee, like so. And I'm going to use my curve ruler to blend this part up to get a perfect curve. And from this full skirt length, I'm going to go up by 1.5 inches. I will mark it and I'm going to connect it like so. This is only for the side of the skirt, okay? So guys, this is it for the skirt, okay? I'm going to add 1.5 inches seam allowance, okay, to the side. Then for this side, okay, that will be joined to the center part, I'm going to add 1/2 inch, okay? I am not going to add hemming allowance to the down part of the dress. I'm going to do English weaving, okay? Then I will add 1/2 inch on the upper part because I'm going to join it to the top parts, okay? Then I'll go ahead and cut. So guys, this is it for the side parts. Of course, you know that this side part should be 2, one for the left side and the other for the right side when I move out to the back panel. This pattern paper is not on fold, but it is assumed to be on fold because it should be on fold, okay? So the first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I'm going to take out 2 inches here for my zipper, and for the button location, I will mark and I will draw the line. Then I'm going to come down by 9 inches for my hip line, and for the knee line, my knee line is 21 inches, but I'm going to go up by 3 inches, okay? Just the same way we did on the front part of the dress. I will mark it on 18 inches. Then for the full skirt length, I'm going to use 40 inches and add 2 inches for sweep, okay? Then I will mark it and I will draw the lines. On this back center part, the same way we calculated the front center part is the same way we are going to calculate the back center part, okay? So I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2, okay? It will give me 3.5 inches. I will mark it on the waistline, mark the same thing on the hip line. On the knee line, I'm going to remove half an inch from it, okay? That's I'm going to mark 3 inches there. Then on the full skirt length, okay, I'm going to mark 14 inches, okay? Then from the knee line, I will go up by half an inch and go down by half an inch. You already know why we are doing this. Then I will draw the lines. Then I will connect the waistline to the hip line, okay? Then I'm going to connect the hip line to the first half an inch, okay, from the knee line, and connect the second half an inch from the knee line to the full skirt length, okay? Then I will use my curve ruler to blend those points out, okay? Then from the hip line, I will go up by 1 inch and go down by 1 inch, because we need to work on the butt allocation and we need to give it a nice curve. Then for the butt allocation, I'm going to add half an inch to the butt, okay? But if the difference between your waist measurement and hip measurement is beyond 10 inches, that's if your waist measurement is like 20 and your hip measurement is like 35, that's the difference of 15. Now you are going to allocate 1 inch, okay? I will mark that half an inch on my hip line. On the 1 inch I went up with, and on the 1 inch I went down with, okay? Then I'm going to connect the 1 inch I went up with from the hip line to the waistline, like so. Then from the hip line, I'm going to come down by 5 inches. I will mark it. Then I'm going to connect it to the 1 inch I went down with from the hip line, like so. Then I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect the 1 inch up to the 1 inch down. Are we clear? Then on this my waist area, I'm going to go in by half an inch. This is to remove any form of bulginess on the waist area. I'm going to mark it and connect it to the butt curve, like so. Then I'm going to add 1 inch zipper allowance, okay? And on this waistline, I will start taking my 1 inch from that half an inch I went in with. Then I'm going to carry on like so, following the curve, okay? And I'm going to connect my markings. So guys, that's aside. I'll now go ahead and cut. So guys, that's aside. You are going to add half an inch joining allowance, okay, to the side, because you are going to join the center part to the side part. We'll now move on to the side part or the back part. The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I'm going to place the center part, okay, on the side pattern paper, okay, to trace out the curve, okay. So I'm going to trace it, okay, with my pencil, and I'm going to use my marker to align it so that it can be visible. Then I will go ahead and trace the vertical measurement, the hip line, the knee line, and of course the full skirt length line. Then I will draw the lines. Then from the hip line, I'm going to go up by 1 inch and go down by 1 inch. I will draw the lines. From the knee line, I will go up by half an inch and go down by half an inch. I will draw the lines. Then for the waistline, the waist measurement we are working with is 32 inches. If it is being divided by 2, it will give us 16 for the front and 16 for the back, okay? Then for the back, remember we have taken 7 inches off. That's for nipple to nipple measurement, okay, for the center part. So what we have left now is 9 inches. So I'm going to divide that 9 inches by 2, okay, because the side part is going to be 2, okay, so it will give me 4.5 inches. I will mark it. Then for the hip measurement, I am working with is 40 inches. 40 being divided by 2 will give me 20 inches. That's 20 for the front part and 20 for the back part. But remember that we remove 1 inch from the front panel. So that 1 inch we remove from the front panel hip measurement, we are going to add it to the back part, okay? So what we have now is 20 plus 1 inch. It will give us 21 inches, okay? Remember again that we have used 7 inches for the center part. So that 7 inches, we are going to remove it from that 21 inches. It will give us 14 inches, okay? So I'm going to divide that 14 inches by 2. It will give us 7 inches, okay? Because this side part is going to be 2. Okay, from that 7 inches, we are going to remove half an inch because we allocated half an inch to the butt. So that half an inch we allocated to the butt, we are going to remove it from that 7 inches. So what we have left is 6.5 inches. I'm going to mark it on the hip line, mark the same thing on that 1 inch up and 1 inch down. Then on my knee line, I'm going to remove 1.5 inches from that 6.5 inches. It will give me 5 inches. I will mark it on the knee line, mark the same thing on the 2 half an inch lines. Are we clear? Then for the full skirt length, okay, if you measure the center parts, you will see that we have 14 inches, okay, while unfold. By the time we open it up, we get 28 inches. So I'm going to mark this 28 inches here because this pattern paper is not unfold. The side part is not supposed to be unfold, okay? I will mark it. Then I'm going to connect the waistline to the first 1 inch from the hip line and connect the second 1 inch from the hip line to the first half an inch to the knee line. Then I'm going to blend this point up. Then I'm going to connect the second half an inch from the knee line to the full skirt length, okay? Then I'm going to use my curve roller to blend this point up. From this full skirt length, I'm going to go up by 1.5 inches. I will mark it and I'm going to connect it like so. So guys, that's it. I'm going to add half an inch joining allowance to this side because you are going to join it to the center part. Then on this side, okay, which is the side part, I'm going to add 1.5 inches for seam allowance. On the upper part, I'm going to add half an inch for joining allowance because I'm going to join it to the toe part, okay? I will now go ahead and cut. So follow me closely. Let's cut. So guys, that's it. And this is all I have for you for today. If you found this tutorial helpful, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. See you in my next video. Bye.